Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos. Happy Friday to you. Hope you've all got a marvelous weekend ahead of you. Let's get straight on with the price action analysis. So starting on the higher time frames, working my way down to the lower. And because it's Friday, of course, CME over here, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange on the weekly time frame is about to close, or well, it will in 7.5 hours. And you can see that, well, not much has happened really. In fact, the last 3 weeks have been entirely boring for Bitcoin. You can see this weekly candle, unremarkable. Last week's candle, unremarkable. And what looks like an unremarkable candle this week. The only saving grace for those interested in Bitcoin's price going up is that this is a low volatility environment and there is no expansion of volatility to the downside yet. And as you can see, if you look back through the bull run so far, which started over here oh so long ago in November 2022, you can see that every time that volatility is expanded, so it expanded there, price was to the upside, it expanded here, price moved to the upside, and then it's expanded here, price moved to the upside. Now, right before that volatility expansion, you see on each occasion, price was above the midpoint of the Bollinger Band right before the volatility expansion. That's not the case at the moment. However, volatility isn't expanding. So if Bitcoin's going to do another upside move, which I jolly well hope it does, and I think is the most likely because that trend is your friend and it's to the upside, then Bitcoin needs to get back above 95,000 for a weekly closure on CME. It's quite far away from that at the moment, a $10,000 move. So it looks like another uneventful week. Maybe there'll be another one next week. But hopefully, as we settle into April, there'll be some decent upside price action. You can see momentum still to the upside here as I define it by using MACD above the zero line. And it's remained above the zero line since indeed this first move. So it's a good indicator of momentum and I use it as such. Okay, it is getting close to the zero line though, but still, significant distance away from it. Now, for the rest of the price action, I'm going to jump on to a perpetual exchange. Which one? Bybit. Oh, I've got a blue line on there. Let's get rid of that blue line. Don't really want that at the moment. And switch down to the daily time frame. Now, the daily time frame isn't particularly exciting. You can see since the all-time high, there's been a trending move to the downside on the daily time frame. And after this last move down to the current, it's not a macro low, just the current daily low, I would describe it as, of 76 and a half. It's been moving its way back up. Now, it's got back up to the top of the Bollinger Band, as was kind of expected, really. And it looks like it's going to retest the midpoint. So the midpoint's coming in at around 84. Now, that's all fine, and it wouldn't really change the price action very much to come all the way back down to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which is coming in around 80. So anywhere from where it is now to 80K, for me, is fair game with price action and just reflects sideways consolidation within the Bollinger Bands. And what is that? Well, that's just a situation of declining volatility on a daily time frame, hopefully ahead of some expansion. So just like over here, you can see that price moved from the top, well, from the bottom of the Bollinger Band up to the top, back down to the bottom. It didn't change the overall trend. And then the next move that increased volatility was to the upside. Didn't last very long though. So I think you can see what I mean. Maybe the Bitcoin will retest 80K. Will that happen over the weekend? Probably not, but maybe. Or will it be into next week? Hopefully, setting in a higher low compared to the 76.5 current low on the daily time frame. But we shall see. We shall see. Momentum does remain to the downside, although it's got very close to crossing the zero line. And indeed, yeah, I mean, 92.5 is the number to cross the zero line at the moment. That will probably come down close to somewhere like 90, which is pretty much where the top of the Bollinger Band is. So you're going to need volatility to expand to get momentum to shift on the MACD back to the upside. Okay, the 4 hour. So this sort of gives us a spin on the weekend. And you can see there's been this 4-hour uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. There's a bit of a chance for a lower low here on the 4-hour, but it has to get back down below 83. So Bitcoin could come down, pretty much as low as 83 and still be in an uptrend on the 4-hour. Although that would look a bit more like consolidation and make this start to look a bit more like a local high. To avoid volatility, more volatility expansion to the downside, Bitcoin needs to get back above 87 on a 4-hour time frame, which is quite far away from at the moment. So we'll see what happens there, but it looks like this is probably the standing high for now at 89, and maybe there's some downside pressure in lower time frames for the mighty Bitcoin as we get into the weekend. You can see that the 4-hour is trying to flip to downside in momentum, and if it does, then it means that probably the daily won't get above the zero line on the MACD. So 4-hour and daily momentum will be to the downside, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. It's definitely getting some support here at 85, but it hasn't bounced. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. I think I'll draw a line at that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe. And join me next time for some more price action analysis. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.